Or they try to.
Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Business Virgin. We're here with John Faigley of Computer Comfort. John, we just finished up last segment talking a little bit about the do's and don'ts. We're on the don'ts. Can you go to the next don't for us?
The biggest recommendation I would have for any small business in their don'ts related to computer hardware is not to underprice yourself. Don't buy a system that is marginal when you get it out of the box. Spend a little extra income and buy something at least middle of the road or higher end. PCs typically have a short lifespan as it is, and as the new software evolves, as the new capabilities evolve, you want to make sure you've got the capacity to handle anything new.
Well, let's expand upon that, because there's a lot of conversation, I think, out there right now between buying hardware and renting hardware. I don't want to say there's a rule of thumb, because I think you say, lifespan of things is probably somewhere in the ballpark of 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on leasing versus buying and what have you?
We have a number of clients that lease not only their laptops and workstations, but also their servers and their networking equipment.
Yeah.
Their idea, their thought behind that being that the technology changes, and they always want to make sure they have the current technology.
Because I decided to rent.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Dell laptops. I rented them. I think they cost, $28 a piece a month. I mean, it's pretty reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And Hewlett Packard and Dell are still probably the two biggest leasers out there, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Specifically with laptops, many times it makes a lot of sense to lease. Laptop technology tends to change much faster than what desktop workstation technology does. And being able to have every 2 years or every 3 years a new laptop with the current capabilities.
But I think it's key, though, John, for people that are thinking about that, that business virgin that we're talking to. I think it's important for them to understand that you don't have to come up with tens of thousands of dollars to have world-class hardware and software. They can go out and lease it. And I had a brand new company. I mean, I had good credit, but it was a brand new company. They still leased me, the computers. I could have bought them, but I didn't want to put out all that money because I wanted to market and do these other things to grow my business. So.
Absolutely. And there are a number of leasing companies, not only with the manufacturers themselves. Many of the banks and many independent leasing companies specialize in technology leases for small companies.
And people can talk to you about who
Absolutely.
those people are?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
We've got a stack of references that we'll be glad to refer them to.
What are some of the other don'ts? So we hit, use the experts, don't underprice yourself. What else?
The main other don't that I would recommend anybody is don't discount the maintenance and the backing up of your information. It's one of those things, we are guilty of it. We don't back up on a regular basis, but that data, the things that you create as a small business, are the most important things that a small business has. Make sure somebody's responsible for it, or make sure you've got methods in place to assure that is protected.
What do you recommend? Is there anything that you recommend right now? Because you hear so many commercials out there. I mean, that's all you hear is
many of the online backups. The Carbonite. We partner with a company called Gilware, where it backs up as it's connected to the internet in the background, so that it's consistently backed up. Those make the most sense for small businesses, specifically when they just have a couple of PCs or a couple of laptops. They're backed up consistently all the time.
And most of those you have to actually, I think one thing's important is that you actually have to shut the computer off a lot of times for the backup actually to occur. Because a lot of people, don't they leave their computer on and it doesn't back up, right?
Correct. With the Gilware or with Carbonite, as soon as it senses an internet connection, it will begin the backup in the background. The other recommendation as you grow and you move into a server is actually having somebody responsible for backing up the server. Many times as your data needs grow, and data grows exponentially at this point, the offline backups through an internet-based backup become unreasonable because of the amount of data that needs transferred.
John, let's shift gears for a second and start on some of the things that people should be doing. Yeah. Now we got them away from what they shouldn't do. Let's hit on what are some key bullet points what people should do when starting their business.
The biggest recommendation I have is ask around. Find out what software works for your type of business.
So call you.
Call me.
That's
We've
the
got
first thing to do,
references.
right?
Correct.
Sounds good.
We've got references everywhere. The second piece of advice would be to learn the software. Take the time, have training on it. Don't just get it out of the box and install it and try and figure it out as you go. You end up being frustrated with it. You won't get your full value out of it because you're not utilizing all the functionality that it has.
Hold that. We'll stop you right there while you got a little pause in your thought. We'll come back with some more to-dos for clients out there and for the business owners. Definitely, like I said, give John a call if you have any questions. 412-531-3300 at Computer Comfort. Go to the website, computercomfort.com. John, we thank you again for this segment, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes.